Hey guys, this is Oshi and this is going to be the first reading on the Daybell murder case because the trial possibly is going to happen in April, at least for Chad. We will see what will happen. But before I start doing readings and stuff like that, reason why I want to do these readings is because I want to talk about the case. I'm keeping an eye on this for at least or about 3 years now. And yeah, I got sucked in. I want to know the answers, and I just want to talk about this case, but not just let's sit down and talk about things, because this is a horrible case. If you don't know and you want to know, there's a married couple, and they are accused of murdering the wife's two child. One of them was 7 years old. He was so tall, tiny and young, and the other was 16, her whole life ahead of her, plus the previous wife of the guy and many other people. There's a lot of death and suspicious death in this case. If you watched any of my Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial readings, you know that I try not to do personal readings, so I'm not going to read for the participants. I'm not gonna read for the children or any of the deceased. That's not my thing. It's I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's not okay for me. Everybody should follow their own guidelines, so I'm not judging anybody who does that. It's just saying that these readings are not going to be about that. These readings are going to be about how the actual trial is going. There was a lot of insight with that we heard, so I'm expecting or hoping something like that. But the main reason, like I said, is that I kind of want to talk about the case, and I want to do it in a way that maybe us tarot folks can enjoy as well. So this is going to be just one introductory reading, I guess, because until the actual trial starts, there's not a lot of things to do. I mean, there are motions, obviously, but there's no cameras in the courtroom currently. There's audio, but not live and stuff like that. So there's not a lot that we know about. And there's a lot of things are happening behind the scenes, so if you want to get real updates and good updates on the case, follow East Idaho News. I follow their YouTube channel because there's a guy called Nate Ethan, who is a journalist, and he follows the case. And as far as I can tell, he's very he has integrity, with his reporting, which I appreciate. East Idaho News is just from the look of it, is a local smaller news channel, so they don't have to sensationalize everything in a way that big media companies do. So if you want updates about what's happening, go subscribe and follow them. There are other channels, lawyers who are explaining things. That's always useful. One of them is the Lawyer channel. So if you want to get your basics covered, go there. But I was thinking that for this first reading, I'm just gonna look into whether justice will be served or not. And what we think is justice is not necessarily what justice is actually gonna look like. But I'm curious if, so to speak, the trial will be successful in a sense that the justice will be served or not. So the answer might not be clear yet because there's a lot of moving places and spaces and pieces, but we will see what we're getting. And I'm using the Galaxy RWS because I was thinking about which deck to use, and I didn't want a deck with a lot of emotions, and the stars and the sky, night sky and galaxies kind of felt more appropriate because of all the dead people in the case, you know, like because stars can represent that, it can represent energy, and that we're more than just our human form. So I was thinking that this could be a good fit for this trial, but we will see. But let's see. So will this trial end up with justice getting served? And I'm just gonna, you know, pull a few cards, not necessarily working with a spread. We can do spreads later, but I kind of want to know. Ooh, okay. Look at that. I mean, if there doesn't look like sitting judges, the only thing that we're missing pretty much, what I would say for a yes is the justice card itself, but I guess that would be way too obvious. But it's interesting because it makes me think about the judge. Ace of Wands, okay. Let me get one more. Okay. Also Knight of Pentacles and Seven of Wands, but those are not coming out. And the bottom of the deck is Eight of Pentacles, which makes sense. We are at the stage of the trial where everything is, you know, it's less stage. You need to move forward, you need to push through, you need to work on the details. Okay, so the Emperor. The Emperor, I mean, I would say I would take this as a yes, because the Emperor is a ruler of the land. And interestingly, you know, with the Justice card, I would get more of the justice was served in a more like higher powery way, you know, like idealistically or, you know, spiritually. Like I know there's a lot of religion, by the way, involved in the case. So I would say, you know, that would be the God served justice kind of way, even though maybe that would be judgment. Okay, but with the Emperor, I kind of feel like the Emperor is the ruler of the land, and with the King of Pentacles, which is a mini Emperor, and on top of that is responsible for the 3D world, the resources, the money, the everyday life aspect of things. I would say yes, at least at this moment. I feel like there's gonna be justice served. I also feel like that there's gonna be a lot of cost, and not necessarily just the trials expenses. I feel like there's gonna be, for everybody who's involved, there's gonna be cost of resources, you know, for those who want to see the trial, they will have to travel there. The jury was moved to another county. So there's a lot of money involved in this case. But I kind of suggest with, you know, like I have a sidekick who's responsible for the money aspect of things, that I got discovered. So the resources are there to be able to deal with this case as a ruler, as a ruler, and I kind of feel like this represents the judge. But do let me know what you guys think. The Ace of Wands is a new, passionate, fiery beginning. So that can mean something, which I don't want to say. It's just saying that this is a death penalty case. I don't know if the cards would talk about something like that so early on, because, you know, innocent until proven guilty and stuff. I'm definitely not going into this case thinking that I know everything and I have all the answers. I have a bunch of questions, and I don't see how they can explain them away and not come out guilty in the end, but I'm open to that because I want justice to be served. But so if if we don't think about that, because I think that's too early to think about that, but maybe that's just me. This could mean that after the trial, there's gonna be a new beginning for the community, for the families, and it's gonna be heated. There's gonna be a lot of passion regarding the end result, because Ace of Wands is not just about one opportunity, it's about multiple options that we can take, and one of them is going to be the one, or the idea that can lead to something later. So there might be that the community, I feel like, doesn't necessarily immediately react the same way to the end result of the trial. But if nothing else, there's going to be a lot of emotion, a lot of passion stirred up. But we also have the Two of Pentacles, and that to me in this context also says that you're once up and then you're once down. It's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune in an everyday smaller sense, that things are sometimes looking up for you, sometimes looking down for you, and this is just how life is. So who this card is talking about, not sure yet, because this is for the trial itself. But it could be that once this trial is over, life needs to go back to how it was. In a way, people need to find some normalcy in their life again. And after the initial stirring up of emotions and passion and maybe anger, because Ace of Wands is all those fiery feelings, there's gonna be a quieting down. There's gonna be some balancing out, and people will find a way to deal with how this trial ends. And like I said, I'm not saying that I'm not naming what I think the end result is. I'm just saying that even if you get a result that you're hoping for, it's still gonna be a very emotional thing. It's still gonna be all the emotional baggage that those people who are directly involved are carrying for years now. They're just gonna have a dot on a page that is not fully finished, because no matter how it ends, there's going to be appeals. There's things will not immediately stop and disappear and start over, in a way, life for them, I mean. But they will have to, the end result will help them go back to get some normalcy, I think. There will be a chance to find that balance that I have every day, balance in life. Yeah, and no emotions on the table, no cups, and no swords, no intelligence, no thoughts, no cards that are representing logic and thoughts or emotions, which is quite interesting. There are a lot of resources, a lot of money, so to speak, but I like to use resources for it, and a lot of fire, passion, which is quite interesting. So we will see how it moves along. I think the next hearing is going to be on the 9th of February. So if anything significant happens, I will do a reading and keep posting this on my reading channel, this one that you're actually watching, so not on my main channel. But as April is coming, and we will see if the trial will be pushed back or it's gonna severed, or whatever's happening, we can actually start doing readings about issues and just check on in the two sides, the two legal sides, because that can be interesting how they are feeling, what they are thinking, or three actually, because you know Lori and Chad has their separate one, and then there's the prosecution, so we can do those. But yeah, hope this is interesting. Please do let me know if you follow the case. And you know, what do you guys see when you look at these cards? What was the initial message that you get? Because there's a lot on the table that I might not want to see because, you know, I'm trying to stay partial for the time being. But yeah, this is the first one. See you in the next one. Or check my main channel for, you know, more stuff. Thank you so much for being here. Like, subscribe, share it with people if you think they are interested. And see you in the next one. Bye.